channel. This is actually the third time I'm trying to record this. First time, it was only like 30 seconds into it and the dog started going nuts. Second time, I recorded for 20 minutes. And I went to cut the video together and I forgot to turn on the boom mic. So there was no audio. I'm going to do it again. Here we go. Today, we're going to take a look at the Manchester police body cam footage. For those of you who don't know, I think it was July 16th, we had an incident involving a Manchester police officer dealing with a suspect, and it showed lack of training, which is all too common in a lot of departments throughout the country. I have the privilege of where I work. I get to see some of the police do their quals. They qual once a year, and sometimes you just have to drop your head in shame and walk away because their training is atrocious. That is the only time they get any training. They do their qualifications, they pass, barely, and then that's it. They're on the streets, and that's all they do. You know, I would assume with all the towns that are in Connecticut that we'd see more police training with their guns and doing things, and it's a rarity. So, without further ado, I'm going to do my best to, I'm going to watch the video and stitch it in post-edit. Alright, so let's take a look at the video. Alright, here we go. Alright, you can see she's walking down the sidewalk, heading to the suspect's door. Alright, opening the door. Alright, last thing you want to do is stand in that doorway. It's a funnel of death. Too many things can happen. As you can see, she's giving commands. Alright, the guy's aggressive. Now she's moving in closer. A little too close for comfort. There's two people, only her. And, oh, there you go. Slap, slap, slap. Okay. Alright, try to restrain him. Nope, not working. Taser time. Alright, there's a taser right there. You can see she crosses her support thumb over the back of the taser. Now, it's a taser, right? There is no slide. But this is a habit. Alright? She has built this habit over time, and that's how she's going to hold it, which to me is a bad habit because now it's going to translate over. Well, I don't want to spoil it. You'll see. So she's going to tase him. All right, here we go. He's still being aggressive. Tase. The taser pretty much has no effect. Maybe it didn't make full contact. I don't know. She's retreating out. And door gets slammed shut. She tries it again. Nope. All right, now she's got her gun out. Stopped it. She's got her gun out. So she's now escalated it because, well, he's becoming more and more aggressive. Understandable. Alright, here we go. Alright, just give him commands. Oh, right there. You can see that support hand with that thumb over the slide. Alright, now, if she tries to discharge her gun that way, a couple of things could happen. One, she'll break her thumb, dislocate it. At the very least, it's going to take a big chunk of skin right off her knuckle. But the scary part is if her thumb's in the way, it's not going to allow the slide to cycle properly, which is going to induce a jam. Alright? Now, old boy, he's got a knife now. Alright? She induces a jam in her gun. She's going to be at a massive disadvantage. She is going to have to remediate that problem and get back in the fight. And honestly, if you don't train and train and train, guess what? It's not going to go as planned. All right, you're going to have troubles. All right, enough of me talking. Play it again. All right, she's radio call. There, crossed. You can see that she's crossing that thumb. Really, really bad. Alright. Arguing with the guy.
I got him at gunpoint.
One-handed. Crossing that thumb. It's a habit. She's backing up, building distance, building distance. Yep, okay. Now she's walking backwards. Fired, 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 fired. Finally, I'm stopping right there. Finally she hits him. All those shots with an aggressor coming at you with a knife. She dumps all those rounds and misses them all but one at the very end, that last shot. She did hit him. And some of you may be wondering, where did she hit him? I'll let you know. In the thigh. That being said, she'd make Brandon proud. She shot him in the leg. There you go. Wounded him instead of killing him. Honestly, as a law enforcement officer, if somebody is attacking you with a knife, you should put all of your rounds center mass, stopping the threat. Alright? If you don't want to get shot, don't come at a cop with a knife or some sort of weapon. Alright? Now, it may be a little bit darker. My light just died on me, so it hadn't been charged. But luckily, I have nice natural light coming in from the window, so it'll look okay. Alright, so let's continue, because old boy's laying on the ground, writhing in pain now. Just so you know, not out of the fight. Potentially. Alright, here we go. Yep, rolling around. Knife is still within his reach. He's more worried about his boo-boo right now. So she's going to move in. She's going to grab the knife. Move it out of the way.
I got the knife.
Alright. And he's just going to be rolling around. Alright, I'm just going to stop it there. And then you can see right here, I'll make sure you guys see it, where I stopped it. You can see another officer that responded. He's pulling old boy's pants down. You don't see his giblets or anything, but you can see what I'm assuming is the wound to his thigh, which is not that bad, from what I can tell. It looks like just pretty much a fleshy wound, hitting him in the left thigh off to the side, versus a whole bunch of times in the chest. Okay, dude probably doesn't need a tourniquet. If you're going to hit him in the thigh, you're going to want to hit him in the inner thigh. Maybe you'll hit the femoral artery. That is a shitty way to go. I'd rather just put a bunch of rounds into their chest cavity. And that is just a reflection of the training. Alright? Again, she probably doesn't train. Probably not in the budget to train. Honestly, I think the cops should train, because training makes you better. It'll never make you perfect, but it definitely will make you better. But training on a flat range is not reality. A lot of people, they take these training courses, and you see them all over the place, and it's a flat range, which is better than training in, say, a static lane where you really can't do anything, and you're pretty much just punching holes in paper. Because it's a safe environment, you're comfortable, you're relaxed, you're having fun, which is great. And I really think everybody should do that, especially if they're working on their groupings and proficiency and overall marksmanship. However, if all you have is a flat range, you need to find a training group or do training on your own where you're going to have elevated heart rate, harder breathing, adrenaline pumping through your body. If you never train for that, then when it does occur to you, you're not going to know how to handle it, and you start doing weird and dumb things. Usually what happens is when all that adrenaline kicks in, obviously we know we're not going to be thinking straight. I mean, you have a crazy person coming at you with a knife. I don't know what's going on in your mind. I don't even know how my mind's going to react, because every situation is going to be different. But I do know this. You're going to fall back on training. You just revert back to that. It's almost like going on autopilot. So, her training, very lacking. She's crossing her thigh. I'll show you exactly what I mean. I'm going to put my laptop down. And I got this handy-dandy little case. Now, this is from USCCA. I am not sponsored by them, and I am not endorsing them by any means. I am just getting their little training gun out. that comes when you become a member. All right, YouTube. This is rubber or plastic, bright yellow plastic. It does not work. All right, that's it. Okay, so when we train, our support hand should be placed such as this. Okay, there's usually a nice little ledge on a Glock that you're able to put your thumb on, kind of dig down. Being here is a good position for, obviously, a weapon light that you're there. Your thumbs sit on top of each other like this. Don't tuck your thumb in like that. You're not trying to put it in a little gopher hole. You want a nice tight grip around that firearm. All right? Now, the reason that helps a lot is if you have multiple targets that you're dealing with, instead of driving forward and trying to look down your sights and then transition to a new target, looking down your sights, go to another target, looking down your sights, you start to get tunnel vision. All right? You have to learn, more advanced shooting is, you're staring at your target because you want to make sure that there's a gun or some sort of weapon in their hand. You don't want to shoot unarmed people. So, if you have tunnel vision looking down at your front sight post, that's not good. So you need to learn how to transition from target to front sight, back and forth. That's how it works. All right? So instead of trying to drive the gun around front sight only, we're using our thumb. All right? Our thumb is pointing out. You can point your thumb at different objects. That's what you're doing. As you're like this and you want to transition, I'm driving my thumb at that object. All right? And then I'm acquiring my front sight. And then you're doing what you need to do, okay? Use your thumb, all right? And as you punch out, I mean, she was like this, all different kinds of ways. All right, two hands, I understand radio calls, all right? But when you're one-handed, it isn't just holding it. You've got it, all right? I'm going to do my best, all right? Arm, you've got to twist it and roll it back. So you're rolling it back. So you have a torque, right, coming in, and then you're rolling this out, and you're locking it in place, all right? And, sorry, an ambulance just drove by. I have a giant bay window, and here I am waving a rubber plastic gun. They're probably going to my neighbor's house. I have an elderly neighbor. Ambulance shows up there a lot. Anywho, so if you hear sirens, or see flashing lights, ambulance just drove by, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to have fire department, everybody else coming up the street. Getting back to what I was saying. Okay, I digress. Training. You need to get the training. You need to instill those good habits. You get bad habits because this is proper, and she's taking her thumb. I'm going to scoot like this. She's taking her support thumb and crossing it over so it's back here, all right? So she's like this, all right? There's a gap underneath. See that hand's on? It's a bad gap. You want everything as a tight little package. You want to be able to squeeze that gun and hold it into place, all right? She had no control over that gun. She shot everything but the guy until she finally hit him in the thigh. So, I want to know, where'd all the other bullets go? There's people in those houses. There could be bystanders, innocent people walking around. Where on earth did all those other bullets go? All right? The training is very lacking. So when it comes to that training, yes, going to the range is great. But you know 99% of your training can be done at home, especially with something like this. You can dry fire a lot. All your work can be done with this, right? Driving it out, finding your sights, all that good stuff. You can buy these on Amazon. I mean, this one, again, is from USCCA. I have blue ones that I got literally off Amazon. And I buy the same plastic analog that I have for real guns. All right, this is a Glock 17. I've got Glock 19s. I got a P320. You can do holster work, driving it out so you can learn when you come up where your sights are, all that good stuff. It can all be done at home. All right? The only thing you can't train for at home is recoil management. You have to be at the range for that. You have to send rounds downrange so you know how to handle that recoil, right? You don't want to see the gun flipping. You want to see the gun reciprocating like a sewing machine. Fire truck. And my wife just got home. So that's, you heard the dog. So Oreo is up in the window, very intently watching the firefighters, the ambulance, and all that jazz. So, breakdown of the video was basic. Lack of training. You need to get that training done. Okay? Before I got sidetracked, we were talking about training on the flat range. You gotta train with different groups. Like here in Connecticut, we've got Black Sheep, Valkyrie, Patriot Performance. Where I work, we have really cool guests that come in. We've had Kyle DeFore. We had Sheepdog Response, which is Tim Kennedy's group. Do lots of training. They get your blood flow up. They get you breathing heavy. They get your heart rate up. You're going to be running around, sprinting, doing push-ups, and then trying to shoot your gun. And you have to be accurate. They're going to teach you how to be accurate. They teach you how to deal with the stressors. They're going to be yelling. I know one training group, they have smoke grenades and flashbangs and all that stuff going off. Don't get sucked into the trap of, well, I go to the gun range. I stand in my little lane where I'm safe and I shoot and I can, that's great, but that's not reality. All right. If you find someone, a training group, wherever you may live, where they do force-on-force training utilizing UTMs, I don't care if it's even airsoft. You're going to get way more out of it than just static shooting on a flat range. All right. I know here in Connecticut, J Strategics, they do CQB work, and it's all UTMs. All right. And if you're not sure what a UTM is, you're using real guns, but the little bullets are basically soap tips, and you're running around, and it's one group versus another group. Usually, it's instructors versus students, and you're going to get shot at, and these things definitely hurt when you get whacked with them. You can feel it. That's great training because now you're going to have the stressors. You're going to have that adrenaline rushing through. And you're going to have to learn how to engage, do proper threat assessments, how to move versus backing straight up. Never back straight up. Backing straight up is dangerous, especially for the officer. Yeah, it's a wide open field, but you don't know what's there. There could be rocks. There could be a tree stump. There could have been a ditch where a tree used to be, and now there's just a hole in the yard. There could have been a garden hose or something. And if she tripped and fell on her back, listen, that guy's right there with the knife. Yes, she has body armor on, but it's designed to stop you from getting holes in like hearts and lungs. It's not going to stop the knife going into the gut or going underneath the armpit because you're already in that position. So having someone just start stabbing underneath that armpit, it's very squishy there. There's nothing to protect you. And it's a great pathway to your lungs. And depending on the size of the knife, it could reach your heart, if not at least nick the sac that surrounds the heart, which is going to cause a lot of issues with like cardiac tamponade and things like that. Horrible, horrible things. So don't walk backwards. Get the training. Learn how to walk on an oblique. Yes, you may step backwards, but you're stepping off to the side. You're going to build that distance. You want to put objects in between you and the aggressor so you can engage. Remember, you have a gun. You can engage at a further distance, especially if they keep trying to encroach upon it. Her training was just lacking. All right? She needs more training. I think a lot of cops do. All right? So, that's all I have for this video. Let me know down in the comments below what you think. Let me know if you've seen this. I'm sure most of the audience here is from Connecticut, though there are a few that live out of state. It is trippy. I don't know if any other YouTube channel has covered it. It has been all over the news here because it's local. Best way to support the channel is obviously hit the like button, throw stuff down in the comments. It helps that algorithm. Click on the link below for merch. Buy some shirts. Help the channel grow. Be able to get new items, as in equipment, new equipment, things of that nature. It helps with the reviews and all that good stuff. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.